Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal, and a very interesting discussion now, teaching your kids the art of delayed gratification. I have with me Harshvardhan Roongta, CFP Roongta Securities. Harsh, good evening and welcome back. So, all right. So, the art of delayed gratification, okay, from an investments point of view, definitely that's something that's going to be useful to you. But then also in every aspect of your life, maybe you should be applying it, okay? But then let's just break this down for different aspects of your life or different sectors of your life, if I want to call it that. What do you exactly mean by delayed gratification? How can you simplify it for your kids?
Kavita, right now we're living in an era which is, filled with instant gratification, peer group pressure, and third-party validation. So we'll post something on social media and we'll wait to see how many people have liked it. So we're waiting for somebody else to like what we've put up, and then we feel good about it. There's a lot of peer pressure. I mean, your friends are doing something, and you understand that pressure to even probably replicate or buy something. And of course, I mean, if you have mobile apps on your phone, which you most certainly have, or the shopping apps, etc., and you have push notifications. So every now and then there will be something that will keep instigating you that you need to buy right now. This offer is available. So this is essentially designed in a way a person would probably act upon it and feel, and they make to believe that this offer will never come back again, and you need to act upon it now. So you land up buying something which you otherwise did not require. And even if you've desired something, there is no way that you would want to wait any further, because, that's what an instant gratification is saying. The process of delaying a purchase for a future reward. Now, when it comes to children, it's very important that you teach children the art of, delaying something and not going in for instant gratification, not simply wanting to, thought of something and buy it immediately. Now, how can that happen? The most important way that you have to keep in mind is that a child learns from what they see. So it starts from parents. If you are going to be somebody who is always just impromptu, impulsive purchases you've been doing yourself, and you expect your child to learn the art of delayed gratification, it is not going to happen. See, you have to understand your child cannot be held responsible for their acts at this juncture, because they're discovering themselves, they're discovering the world around them. So they are bound to make a lot of mistakes and they will learn. However, their learning becomes the most effective when they're actually looking at their parents. So first it starts with parents. If you have to make your child understand, please demonstrate it to them. Demonstrate it to them that, something that is more impulsive in nature. Suppose as a family you've gone out for an outing and you find something, you see something that you like, and you're going to instantly keep buying that. That's what your child is seeing. You may probably want to talk to the child and say that, look, I intended to buy this, but let me try and delay this buying decision for probably a 2 days or a week, and I'll come back again if my mind, if I still want to buy it. Most likelihood you will not want to buy it because it was more of an impulse reaction that you had. So that's the smaller ways that you will start introducing the concept of delayed gratification to your child. If your child is say 5 or 10 years old, you could engage in light activities wherein, if your child wants something, encourage the child to say that, okay, if you plan and if you agree to delay this purchase right now, and you buy it probably after a month or 2 months, you will get rewarded additionally to what you're buying. We will reward you for something more. So maybe engage in some light activities with your child, so that he or she can probably understand the importance of not indulging into impulse purchases, and understanding that there is a merit in not buying something on impulse, but rather delaying that, and you could possibly be rewarded in a much bigger way later on.
But then, Harsh, what about the concept of you only live once and you live in the now, and this is the present moment that you should be making the most out of? You can't even miss that, right? So, how does delayed gratification works there?
So, you're right. You're absolutely right. So what happens is there has to be a very, very, appropriate balance between instant gratification and delayed gratification. Now, take the example of children, since we're talking about children. If at all times you're going to tell the child that you don't buy today, buy later, and you're only depriving the child completely and you're saying that no, you have to learn only delayed gratification concepts, etc., it's going to backfire majorly later on. I mean, it's going to backfire very, very strongly. So you need to have a very delicate balance between instant gratification and delayed gratification. You have to let them even, do what they feel like doing in the present. So that is in terms of how do you want your child to understand and learn the concepts. Now coming to your question of you live only once, yes. yes, you live only once, and certain things that you can do at your current age, you cannot do 20 years down the line. So, like if you want to go for adventure sports and you say that I'll do it post retirement, it's not going to happen. Your age might not permit you to do that at that point in time. What is very important is that you need to plan for everything. And if you can plan it, and if you start early, for example, you will have enough resources to your disposal to have everything at an appropriate time. So let's say, for example, your first salary, when a person just earns their first salary, and from that income itself, you start setting aside probably a 20% of your income towards all your requirements that are going to come up, say from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even retirement. You will be able to allocate everything. So the secret actually lies in one fact, that you need to plan it well. If you plan it well, you will have adequate resources for meeting all your requirements. And even if you don't, at least all your basic requirements plus. So basic plus, you will have everything. You may not have enough for your disproportionate comforts, if I may say so. But if you plan well and you start early, you will have adequate resources to meet all your requirements. And one step further, I mean, if you're fond of traveling, okay, so you can do your travel with probably a few thousands, and you can do the same travel with a few lakhs. Now you need to adjust yourself to your budget constraint and travel, but probably reduce the kind of or lower the kind of hotels that you're going to stay in, or probably some costs that you can reduce, and then you'll be able to manage. So there has to be some balance that you have to create. You cannot simply say that I want everything today and I will not worry about future. You cannot say that I'll worry only about future and not live the present. So there has to be a very, very good balance created for yourself and also for your children.
How does this aspect of behavioral finance also works with your crucial financial goals, be it buying a house or maybe getting your kids educated at the number one university or maybe even your retirement? These are very crucial goals, and one really needs to be disciplined whenever planning their finances or investment for this purpose. But a lot of time it doesn't happen, where people, they have different kind of mindsets related to finance or savings, or they fall for wrong kind of products as well. How this concept works for your financial goals, especially your crucial financial goals?
Very, very simple. See, you need to have a blueprint. I'll give you an example. Now, when you sit down to probably plan to construct a house, okay, so if you're going to sit down and plan to construct a house, what is the first thing that you're going to do? You're going to call a qualified person and he's going to draw that entire plan for you, right? After you're fully convinced on paper, seeing the drawing, which is technically prepared by a professional, then you start the execution. Now you take the example of financial planning. Now financial planning is I don't know what goes on to people's mind, and they don't give enough importance to the subject. They will start the journey of investing something very randomly, based on some hearsay by some person, some relative, or some peers or colleagues who start buying into something, and they start that. 5 years, 10 years down the line, they realize that we've not done something right. Then I don't know why there is no need to even sit down and draw a plan as to what your line of action is going to be. What are you requiring? How are you planning to achieve that? So you can't construct a financial plan by randomly taking action one by one. You have to plan it out. You have to list down all your requirements and then start walking towards that path. You'll be more focused and you will be able to achieve all that you need. And I'm genuinely saying this. If a person starts investing early, a 20% setting aside of their income can help them achieve almost all their goals, which will come in the next couple of decades for them. That 20% does not mean 20% of the first income alone. It means 20% of your income incrementally in the next coming years as well. So if you set aside a portion of your income, plan it well, note down what you want, and start working towards it, most likely you will achieve most of your goals. Not And if you start haphazardly, you do something
Right.
hearsay, it's
Right.
not going to help you.
Right, right. I think that will be all. Thank you so much, Harsh, for being a part of this very important discussion about how to teach your kids delayed gratification. But then let's move on to